don't drink tea. Well, what do you drink?
Not tea.
This is UnpauseIt, a podcast by a family of geeks. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm Furious Girl, and I am 9.
I'm Lady Disdain, and I'm 43 years old.
I am the Sauce _, and I am 11
Underscore the data bytes. 41.
What movie are we talking?
My favorite movie called Doctor Strange.
You know,
Doctor Strange is
it's kind of funny because I feel like Mr. Doctor. Like, this is from the movie where we like
movie.
Dr. Stephen Strange.
Mr. Doctor. Oh
All right, well, I'd love to talk about it. So what do we do next, kiddo?
Movie specs.
We're putting it in some context. It came out in what year, George?
Ooh, I think I know.
High.
2016.
It was high, by the way.
I mean, I'm sure people, if they saw this movie while they were high, whoa.
Probably would have heard. November 4th of 2016. Who's in this one?
Georgia, do you know his name?
Benedict Cumberbatch plays Doctor Strange.
I guess Daddy will tell you.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
That's amazing, because I see his name, I love that actor, but I always am scared to pronounce it.
Tilda Swinton. Benjamin Bratt. Mads Mikkelsen. Benedict Wong playing Wong.
Oh, I wanted to do Wong. I knew his name.
Right?
Benedict Wong.
Playing Wong.
That would be really easy if you were in a movie and they called you by your actual name and you're like, yes, I will never not answer to that because that's my name.
Directed by Scott Derrickson. There is currently no slate for Doctor Strange 2.
Uh-oh. What do we think that might mean?
What does that mean?
We're about to see...
I'm gonna sue Marvel.
Okay. Marvel, you heard it here. Yeah, because we've all been kind of guessing. I think in our last podcast, we kind of had a little speculation as far as like who might not make it through Infinity War.
Right.
And it's never a good sign when there's not a second movie set up. But they may not want to do that anyway because they don't want to give away too much to say
Still,
that.
I'm going to sue Marvel if they...
Okay.
Okay.
Kevin, you heard it.
Those are the movie specs so far. We can go in what film they used and what cameras were on there.
Let's not do that. Georgia, what do you want to do, Miss Furious Girl? You were going to go to something else before you said movie specs. So, Superpowers.
Why don't you talk about it first, George? You're in charge.
Him. Yay! Okay, so...
Here we are.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Mm-hmm. Does he breathe deeply? That's his superpower?
Yes. No, we're just breathing deeply so we don't die.
Okay, well maybe you need to not look at Georgia and look at me.
Yeah, okay.
What's a superpower?
Okay, so superpower, Stephen Strange's superpower, I think anyone can use magic. There's just some people who are good at magic, and Doctor Strange is the natural.
Seems like he's natural at it.
See, in the last part, we need another Sorcerer Supreme. They'll be like, oh yeah, let's go raid Earth. Yeah. And they need another Sorcerer Supreme after the Sorcerer Supreme dies.
Yeah.
And I think Steven, with a little bit of training, just a little bit, can become Sorcerer Supreme.
Maybe.
Well, he does become Sorcerer Supreme in comics at one point.
Yeah, but I think at the end of this, he just becomes the keeper of the
Master of the New York
Sanctum. The Master of the New York Sanctum, that's right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because he was at the New York Sanctum in the Ragnaroks.
Well, what do you guys think about that? You said magic. Anybody can do magic. Do you have to be at Carmartage to do magic? Do you have to have like another magician, sorcerer?
No, you just need other stuff to do other magic, and you need to have the stuff to do the magic, and you also have to be good at the magic. Okay, I quote, you need to sit with gurus. Unquote. Sit with a sacred woman. I don't know what that means. It doesn't sound good.
Well, she is a sacred woman, I guess.
Yeah, like nuns and things like that.
What about sling rings? I mean, it seems like those are rather important. I don't know where you get those.
They're magical, right?
Yeah, okay, so sling rings. Anyone want to talk to Georgia to sling rings? Sling rings are another object to do other magicness.
That's how they get in, that's how their portals work, so they can't do it without it. So, what do you think about that?
I'm not Dr. Strange.
Does seem like that's kind of. I'd be interested to know where those are manufactured because
if there's a finite amount of them. Or...
Was she?
I think I manufacture them.
Probably Taiwan, where everything else is made.
Did she? What's her name?
Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme.
The ancient one.
The ancient one. That was it.
You don't know her real name. She's listed as the ancient one on The casting and everything.
She had a sling ring on when she dropped him off at Mount Everest, right? I mean, does she use a sling ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has to.
And he also has one.
Okay. Well, I know, because I remember she makes that comment, you wouldn't want to get caught in the mirror dimension without a sling ring.
Right.
Because you're stuck. You don't want to be stuck.
Well, what if you are stuck?
I think you're stuck there.
But what if you don't want to be
The superpower on this one, the comic book tie-in is magic. Not the first time you've seen magic in the Marvel universe, right? You have Loki.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Wow, no. Loki is just like Asgardian magic. And magic.
But it is magic.
And death-like magic. And like mystery magic. Wow. And
remember what
Science Theater 3000. Green magic.
It made me think of what Black Widow says in Avengers, the first Avengers movie, where she's like, this is magic and Loki and nothing we've ever trained for.
Yeah.
Can I say superpower?
Me.
I love that she just totally wanted to defy me just then. And be like, no, you don't matter. He says at one point, do you remember when he basically uses the time stone to recreate, or the eye of whoever, Agamotto. He uses that to create the pages that got ripped out, and then he does that spell, right? And then later he says, how did you know to do this? He was like, I have a photographic memory. That's how I was able to finish my master's and
get a PhD
at the same time. So it's not a superpower among humans, but it's something that some humans do have, a small percentage, where they can see something and it's always in their brain.
Why didn't they use that to recreate the pictures of before?
I'm not sure that anybody but the Ancient One knew how to do that.
And she didn't want anyone to be sorrowed and tormented and whatnot.
And once they were gone, they couldn't be reproduced again as far as contacting Dormammu again. That's what I think. Also, it could be a plot hole. It could be an oversight. It could be something that wasn't deleted, that wasn't deleted out of the script before they even, shot it. We don't know. We don't know all the answers. But
sadly,
I would say that the Eye of Agamotto, the Time Stone, Infinity Stone, which they say at the end, is off limits to anybody but the Sorcerer Supreme. And probably, remember what they said about messing with time? How you can create paradoxes and then create rifts in time, and then it can fracture there without your control.
Yeah.
So maybe not doing that is a way of not destroying the world.
What about you, bud?
Okay. Speaking of time stones and infinity stones and all that, this is going edit this to a different part of the podcast. This is Infinity War. I wonder how Thanos gets the time stone.
Does he? We don't know.
Will Doctor Strange be able to teleport him away and stall him?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that Thanos does get all the Infinity Stones.
I don't think he
destroys half the universe, and they restart with new actors and everything too. But I think Thanos wins.
Whoa!
I don't.
Heavy production there, bud.
I don't know where I saw this, but I saw a picture somewhere that was all about the Infinity War, and it was Thanos grinning weirdly, and mostly the picture with his chin.
It's a big chin.
He has a really big chin.
It's been tweeted about many times on how big the chin is.
Like the chin the size of his face.
Right?
And it had all of the Infinity Stones, and it had planets destroyed, but he was on Earth. So I'm thinking that he destroys half of the universe, but not including Earth.
Maybe.
We will only know in about 4 weeks.
We find out, that the Tesseract was on Earth, the Eye of Agamotto was on Earth. So there was 2 time stones. There was 2 Infinity Stones hidden on Earth. I'm wondering if the Asgardians, when they hid the Tesseract there, didn't know about the Eye of Agamotto, and they thought that this is just this run-down, rinky-dink, primitive planet that, we'll just hide them there. Nobody will look from there. And they all end up there.
Rinky-dink, everyone.
We just fit the bill every time. What else on Superpowers, kid?
Favorite scenes.
Ooh, nice one.
So my favorite character is Doctor Strange. My favorite scene is when
Caecilius. Hard to say.
And to spell.
When blah 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 is talking to Strange and is saying Mr. and Strange is like Doctor.
It's actually Doctor.
Mr. Doctor?
Oh, Mr. Doctor? No, it's Strange.
maybe. Who am I to judge?
And why again do you like Doctor Strange so much?
Because he's shit.
And I bet there are other reasons.
She said Sherlock because we couldn't understand what you said.
Yes, we could.
I like the moon bear.
Sherlock.
Yeah, so Benedict Cumberbatch is not only Doctor Strange, but he also plays Sherlock in the Sherlock BBC show.
And our kids really do like the Sherlock.
Really good.
The only one we haven't let them watch is the one with the lady.
The woman.
Yeah, the woman.
We won't let them
It's a
watch the
little
woman.
BDSM for that one.
It pretty much is.
Is it gross?
Yes,
Is it a
you would
Marvel
find
movie?
it. You would find it incredibly gross.
Is it a Marvel movie?
Lots of kissing.
No, it's remember Sherlock. It's a TV show on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
Episode
I know.
or
I don't like that one. You talked about this, and I don't like it. No, I like Sherlock. I like Sherlock.
Okay, Georgia.
Well, speaking of Sherlock, do you think we will get Everett Ross and Doctor Strange in the same scene in Infinity War or in the sequel or the next Avengers? Do you think we'll get it?
which is
If
Sherlock
they don't,
and
I'm going to sue Marvel again.
Lots
I
of
tried to what they
lawsuits.
did.
That's fine. Lots of lawsuits.
Yeah.
what else, Georgia? What else you got for favorite whatevers?
No.
Who's next?
To the next thing.
What's the next person?
Yes.
Next thing for him. He's a unicorn, which is a thing.
I am a magical unicorn. Favorite characters, scenes, and whatnot, blah blah blah. The first one is his Mordor hands Strange the Wi-Fi password. What's this? Like, yeah. And Mordor's like, Wi-Fi password. We're not savages. Then backs up and closes the door.
Who gave him the
He called him Mordor. It's Moldo.
Mordo.
Mordor. Like, I don't think Sauron would have had a Wi-Fi
Now,
password.
if it wasn't Shambhala, if it was Sauron, that would have been funny.
But it's Mordo. Yes,
Mordo.
I had it wrong too. I said Moldo. What else, Will?
Another favorite scene, the closet thing right after Doctor Strange left. I can't talk, so Dad explained.
I mean the one in the ER?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
broom
that one.
handle.
It could because she was getting freaked out because his face appeared out of nowhere. She's freaking out, which is a direct image from one of the first comic runs.
Uh-huh.
So they used that in there. She's freaked out by all that stuff. Just, heart's probably racing. Her ex-boyfriend, friend,
At least.
walks through a glowing hole in space-time, whatever, then disappears, and a broom falls over. I'm like, it's so just right on.
Disappears, then looks the other way from the portal. Waits about 3 seconds, so broom falls right behind her. Ah!
And also,
Not exaggerating.
according to the trivia, that was a real moment. That happened. They were still had the camera rolling. She turned around and that thing just fell by itself and freaked her out. And they're like, "Oh, we're keeping that in," because apparently she never broke character. Like that was, and they had we have to keep this in because she broke character right then. So that was those are the little fun things that are fun.
That was good.
What else, Will?
What's my other favorite scene?
Did you write it down?
Oh!
What?
I remember. I didn't write it down. It's Wong. So there are some Wong moments that are really just amazing.
Like,
He pretty much any scene he's in is a good scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna say two of my favorite Wong scenes. First is at the library when Strange's like, I need books on astral perception. No. And then, try me, Beyonce. Oh, come on, you've heard her. She's a star.
and then he was listening to
Just
her
give me
later.
the books. No. It's one of the last Wong scenes when the last battle, right before time loop, or after the time
Right
loop.
after the time loop.
Steven says, you're not going to like it to the people who are getting sucked into the dark dimension that actually give their lives to their mom and all that.
What was that last joke? It was.
Yeah, but the point is, Wong laughed at it.
You really should have stolen the whole book because the warnings come after the spells.
Oh,
And Wong just starts.
That's a good one.
well, I mean, why didn't they steal the whole book?
Any more scenes?
Nope, I'm good. I can't talk.
So I like the Dr. West. Before Stephen Strange has his epiphanous moment where he is realizing he was a complete, dill hole, basically,
Mhm.
and he's taking the bullet out of the guy's head. Dr. West, cover your watch. And the sound gets dropped out, and there's no sound in the picture, there's no sound anywhere. I really like that scene. I think that scene was really well done. It showed how brilliant he actually was.
Mhm.
How skilled he was with his hands, and how actual skilled of a surgeon he really was. The Benjamin Bratt scenes. We're going to talk about the mid-end credit scenes, too, on that. But the Benjamin Bratt scenes, he does a great job. That's one of the good things about Marvel. What they do is they get a big-time actor to do a small time role that the whole thing kind of pivots on.
Mm-hmm.
So well done. The good tea when he meets the ancient one, it's good tea. She's like, yeah. Like, I know.
What was in that tea? It was just tea. A little bit of honey.
What kind of tea though? Green tea, Zen tea, yellow tea, lemon tea?
Yeah, right. So it's like he's asking another Wong quote, and he's like, nothing, give me here. My coworkers laugh at me all the time. He's like, did they work for you? Boom. Like, he's just like, boom. Kind of just bringing him down a notch.
I thought he said, did that work for you?
No, did they work for you?
That's, yeah.
I don't remember that part.
It was in the library. It was right before the scene you're talking about when he's like, no. And he's like doing the Beyonce thing and he's not laughing, right? So the library there is what gives these people their magical powers.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge in there unlocks something in the mystic arts that allows them to do that. So we're talking about the superpowers, right? So that's where it comes from. What did the ancient one? They kind of tied it in better, and they brought it down a little bit. I think from a comic booky, mystical level, and brought it into a part where you can unlock this stuff, right? And everything was in the library.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he said, "What was the quote? Like, how did you learn how to rebuild a spine and do all your surgery?" He's like, "Years of study and practice,
training and practice."
And she's like, "Yeah, that's what's going to take to do this too." Yeah. So I like that part. I liked those scenes. None of my favorite scenes were the fighting scenes.
Mm-hmm.
They were good, but I didn't really hate them. I didn't really think that they were the best part of the movie, in my opinion. The last part with Dormammu was pretty interesting. And watching it in 3D, I watched it in 3D. I don't think you did.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely jumping out at you really hard. It was really fun there. So if you have a chance to see Doctor Strange type movies in 3D, that's probably the only 3D movies I could recommend.
So, what was the time that you watched it in 3D when we both went to the movie theater and watched it for the first time?
Yes.
Didn't you guys bike there for 7 miles?
That was Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, that was Batman vs. Superman.
Okay.
The biking was the best part of that movie.
It was.
Yeah.
That movie was horrible.
Anyway,
My brain.
those were my favorite scenes, characters, and lines, if you will. The Mirror Universe one, where everything's going kind of crazy. And I was like, okay, I get it, but
Okay. So that wasn't one of your favorite scenes?
No, it was.
Mom was the only one.
Thank you. Sure.
Okay, actually, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
I too really like the cover your watch part, because you just realize if you hadn't yet captured the gravity what he was about to do, that he needs all of the sound off, which is interesting because then earlier you see him in another surgery where he's just as he's operating, he's got hands in people's brains, and he's guessing music, etc. and dancing. So you just kind of see, oh, this is not that surgery. I really love. So the cloak is actually one of my favorite characters.
Cloak of levitation.
The cloak. It was just neat too. As he's going through, seeing all the relics. He has the relics explained to him. I guess Mordo has his own. The boots are his, I think.
The boots of levitation.
The boot. The Fulton Boots of Falcor.
Something like that. It's not a weird name.
Yeah, and it's the Cloak of Levitation. And then the Staff of...
The Staff of Beatdown, whatever it is.
Beatdown.
So I love the Cloak of Levitation where, he first kind of spots it in one of the thing, and you could see that it kind of perks up and looks at him, or as much as it can look at him, But when you say, about the fight scenes, that honestly made some of the fight scenes for me. I thought the fight scenes were really good. I love just the way that, the dimensions change and they shift matter. But then to see the cloak, actually fighting on Strange's behalf.
Yeah, blocking shots.
Grabbing it. Nope, you can't. Nope. And then did you guys see, too, where he's all sad, and then the cloak just wipes his tears away?
Oh, that was the other favorite scene that I didn't write down.
The mirror, when he's in the mirror? Yeah.
And I guess that was Benedict Cumberbatch's idea. He's like, that would be really cool if it would wipe my tears away. They're like, let's do that. I did write down Wong laughing. I do, and with the cloak of levitation, I love where, Stephen falls off the banister, the cloak dives after him, and then he just, rises up looking all
the
cool.
The comic book image of Doctor Strange. It was well done. And it had the Sanctum window behind there. It was just really well done.
And I loved how Christine, his, ex-girlfriend but friend, who
Doctor. Yeah.
really is the one that cares about him, and she's very talented, but just she knew at the start, she's like, your hands being the way they are doesn't end your life, and he was acting like it did, like he wouldn't have a life without his hands working the way they had. She's like, that's not it. And I love that that's echoed in the Ancient One. Every time she talks to Dr. Strange, she's like, the world would be less if you went back to where your hands were the same way.
Yeah.
Instead, it's not about you. I love that too. So there was a lot of really good stuff. I love where just a lot of truth bombs, basically, that Ancient One just reads him like a book, and she's like, you just still need to learn, and here's this, and here's how it is. So I liked a lot of it. It was a very introspective movie, I thought, a good commentary on somebody who just has the wrong perspective. One thing I did like, where the Ancient One, she's like, all your life you've been looking through a keyhole at all that could be possible, and now I've just told you the keyhole can be widened, and you don't think it can be done. She's like, that doesn't make any sense, and then right away Nick gets all mad, and she just like, zoom, knocks him out of his body, so that's pretty cool. So those are some of my favorite scenes.
But I didn't say a favorite character. It's probably, I would say Doctor Strange, but probably Wong.
Why?
My favorite character.
Yeah. Oh, good job, Georgia.
Why?
Because of his scratchy face.
Alright, Liz.
Who's your favorite character?
And why?
I'm going to do someone with a lot of humor, that's why. And Wong. Wong is like, he has the best moments.
He has great lines.
And Stephen Strange, I don't like him that much.
That's okay.
Can I say one other thing I really did like? Say the actor's name again, the one who plays Mordo.
Do you want to tell Gia?
So I like him. I've seen him. He started in 12 Years a Slave, which I haven't seen. But he was an antagonist in Serenity, the movie Serenity.
In Serenity.
Yeah.
He was also in Four Brothers with Marky Mark.
Yep. So
played a Detroit gangster.
Yep. So he was the one trying to find River, and at the end he fights with Captain Malcolm, and once he sees what the lie that has been perpetuated, he changes. But there's one moment where he's brought Doctor Strange to where he's about to take him in to. I can't remember the names of this movie. I'm terrible.
Camartage.
Thank you.
Camartage.
He's like
K-A-M-A-R.
And Doctor Strange is like, you sure it's not over there? This place doesn't seem that Camartage.
That place seems more Kamataji.
Yeah, and I love that Mordo just the presence right there. He's like, I was once like you, standing
I stood
here.
in your place once.
Yeah, and he's like, and I too was disrespectful. That delivery just gets me every time. He's just like, just the way he says, it's like, just the rebuke in it. It's just a small little rebuke, like, stop right now.
Yeah.
Just need to slow your roll.
It was good.
So I did like that. So that's all I had.
Mordo is kind of one of your favorite characters.
He's not my favorite, but I love the performance. I like that actor. It's just like Georgia likes Doctor Strange because you like the actor, a large part of that. I like Mordo because I really like the actor.
Yeah.
So.
Battle and fight scene. I go first.
Okay.
Sanctums and time loop.
The Dormammu time loop? Yeah.
That was cool.
That was a very clever use of that. So Dormammu lives in the Dark Realm, which isn't part of this universe, right? Is he stronger than Thanos? Is he just different? Is he a Celestial? Is he just completely different, right?
I think he's a Celestial, but that's just my guess.
Maybe.
He lives outside of time. It's a concept that is very rooted in Christianity, where God lives outside of time.
Yeah.
He's as big as a celestial head out in nowhere.
True. But he's also kind of flowy and weird.
Yeah, so this must be like a weird Celestial.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, think about it. Star-Lord's dad, that was a Celestial skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the planet was, and now it's just like a...
Nowhere was a Celestial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going to choose a favorite fight scene, because there was a long fight scene, because he's in there doing the apple, then the Sanctums get attacked.
Yeah, that's long.
Then there's a fight between Caecilius and Doctor Strange again. Then he gets stabbed, and he fights those other people. It's long. That's a very long battle part. But the part I like about that is when he's getting shocked, he's like, wait. And he's holding on to the astral projection, and astral projects the shock through his body, through his astral plane, or whatever, and fries that other guy, and it blows his mind because he's a doctor. He's like, I can't do this. This is like, I killed somebody. This is not who I am. That's the part I like about when I'm talking about battle and fight scenes. But overall, like when they were in the mirror universe and everything's going crazy, it was fun, but not the best. Like I said, not the best part. I will say though, does anybody remember the part where at the beginning where they're in London and the Ancient One's chasing them and they rope her legs and she just steps back and just nonchalantly steps back with each leg and just pulls them off of their feet?
That's a little bit, okay, two things. That's a little bit super strength, I think. And second, the keeper of the library, the old keeper.
The old one.
Yeah.
Died because he couldn't do what she could.
Truth.
So, I'm hoping somebody noticed this before, but, Dr. Watson in Sherlock was a doctor, and Sherlock in...
He's not a doctor in this one, so they swap.
Is a doctor.
I did notice that. And now they both play Americans in the Marvel Universe. And they're both British. Mate.
I liked the New York Sanctum fight, because really the only time you'd seen Doctor Strange kind of fight was against Mordo, where he's like, conjure a weapon, and all he came up with was kind of like a string of mysticism, and that's what he was using to kind of block, and he wasn't very effective at all. But then that's all he knows to conjure, so he does that again against Caecilius and his gang, and he actually is whipping it and fighting pretty effectively.
Right. If anybody listens to this in the old cyberspace and on the Google webs, text us, email us, send us pictures to our P.O. box of you roller skating. I remember roller skating back in the day. That's how old I am, right? And you would stand by the wall, and you would go slow. And a friend of mine grabbed me, picked me up, put me in the middle of the ring, and then skated away. Been able to skate ever since. That's what happened. He was in the shallow end in those training. He got thrown into the deep end when Caecilius got in. If you learn how to swim, that's happened to you, Willis, when you were trying to learn how to swim. You're like, you're all scared. The teacher put you in a 5-foot deep area. So she could stand up and get you if you were starting to go under, but you swam when you had to. He fought like his life depended on it, because it did.
Well, that's how he first conjured a portal, too, because he couldn't do it until all of a sudden she's like, well, you're going to probably freeze in a few minutes. You know, maybe less, and then she leaves him there, and he's just got to use a sling ring and you can tell they're any second now he's coming back through, but he does. He makes it happen.
Right. That's like if you throw a kid into a deep end and they stay down a little bit too long, you're like, and you dive in far. But talking about a completely different movie, the kid's favorite Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises, right? Mm-hmm. His spine is fixed, and he can't do it. Finds out that the young child did it without a rope.
Uh-huh.
So you either do it or you die.
Yeah, that's the fear factor. That's what's happening.
Right, and that's exactly and that's a real human element. You know? Like if you're mountain biking and you're going down something ridge and you have to go for it hard.
And also, as Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try.
Well, there's a try on planet Earth, so shut up, Yoda.
Wow. She done told Yoda.
I think we've covered fight scenes and battles.
Anything else? Willis, did you have anything written down?
Yeah.
Who can talk about villains? Do you want to go first?
I'll talk about a villain.
Willis, it's George.
No, I just want to name the villain.
Okay, name it.
Okay, Dormammu. That is the main villain.
Main villain.
He is the one who caused so much trouble.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the story goes in the movie, it's Caecilius, right?
Yeah, well, technically Dormammu is
called story, not actual life.
So
he lost his family, apparently?
Yeah.
Tragically?
You don't know really, but yeah.
Somehow, maybe.
Yes, you do.
Right. They don't really tell us. What do you guys think about him as a strong villain or not? He didn't make our top 10 villains.
No.
Well, he kind of sucks, that's why.
I guess, I honestly would argue this is probably one of the lesser developed villains. I almost said criminals.
Right.
Villains in the Marvel and the MCU, because, and it's not like you don't see enough of them. I feel like we do, but you kind of get what he wants, but I don't know.
This one might have perpetuated that falsehood of a villain problem in the MCU.
Yeah.
But I would say Whiplash in the dreaded Iron Man 2 was a stronger,
Yeah,
developed,
I would go with that as well.
played by, what's his face? Mickey Rourke, right?
Who?
Mickey Mantle? What is his name?
Mickey Rourke. You're right.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, yeah, that's what it was. But
Mickey Mouse guy.
Mads Mikkelsen nailed the performance.
Yes,
So this is not an indictment of his performance. I think he did the best with what he was given.
I do too.
His followers were... There's no heart. There's no scenes with them. There's some deleted scene you can kind of see, some of that. But I think it was a poorly developed villain. Dormammu, though, on the other hand, like you said, was the main villain. Was mentioned several times. Is a being of immense power living in the dark realm, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the Dark Realm.
Yeah,
Dark Dimension.
yeah. Devouring worlds. Like he has devoured worlds.
To put them on a chain.
Those are,
Right.
did you know that those are worlds and moons and stuff?
Yeah, they're all in
Dark
there.
Dimension, but they're corrupted.
Yeah.
Well,
World and moon.
he's not beaten.
No, he's just still there.
It's like a tie at the end, kind of. I mean, it's
Right.
like, just leave us alone, leave Earth alone, take your peeps. But he's not destroyed.
I mean, he's a celestial in my opinion.
Well, whatever he is, whether he's a celestial, which is a very strong opinion, which is a very strong, guess. Not weak,
No. Well, consider he had power over every mystical person in here except for
Right.
Mordo. And then, and also Strange. But, Doctor Strange finally kind of calls him to a standoff where they both get with it, he gets what he needs. But only after going through
What about Wong?
They killed Wong. They had brought him back by going backwards in time.
Yeah, Wong was killed in the whole fallout of the
Yeah.
Hong Kong
Yeah, I
Sanctum.
remember that.
But yeah, Dormammu has had power. He was giving power to the Ancient One. She was drawing off of him so that she could stay alive for all those centuries. Caecilius obviously turned to him. Yeah, and Doctor Strange bargained with him. Dormammu, I'm here to bargain.
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting to see where he might come up in the future, but he's not gone.
I know.
And it also brought up the whole concept of multiverses. I don't know that we've really hit
That's
on
the
that.
first time it was brought in, so that's why I'm saying we're going to get a different Captain America and a different Iron Man in 3 years, played by
Different people.
different people.
What do you have, Will?
Okay, first thing first. Dan is wrong. Don't agree with him. He is like
You don't agree with my opinion that Thanos wins?
yeah.
Okay. Fair.
No, I don't agree with your opinion that new people. I don't agree.
That they won't. That they just won't exist anymore.
I think that Dan is
In 3 years' time, I don't think.
I still disagree with that, but I also disagree with the other thing.
Totally acceptable disagreement.
And
Yeah.
again, I would like to say something, which is the Infinity Stone, Time Stone. If the Sorcerer Supreme back then, Agamotto, right? Agamotto.
Right.
Uh,
First sorcerer.
yeah, if Agamotto, what would happen if he got hold of like the Mind Stone or Power Stone? Would he be able to control those with other eyes?
I don't know.
See,
The eye amulet is like the orb, allowing you to safely hold it.
yes.
You know.
What if Thanos was the creator, but he didn't want to destroy anything but when he back then?
No.
No, we're gonna skip like
We're
you
gonna-
never said that.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot you down right there because that is not true.
Because he actually does want to. We're gonna find out why. I think why he wants to destroy the universe, George. In the comics, it's because he wants to marry death.
What do you want to do next after villains?
Kimmy.
Ooh. Do you remember what it
the
was?
book he was reading?
Well, wait, let's describe it. Who wants to describe it? Willis, do you want to go?
I'm going to give my rating and describe right now.
Go.
I choose.
Oh, sorry. Georgia. Who do you want?
Georgia gets to choose.
Georgia, who do you want to describe?
A dismissive
Rebuking
wave. I see.
dismissive hand gesture.
Who's going? Come on.
I said me.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you said men.
Yeah, I thought you said men too.
Yeah. when you
Anyway,
don't say
go
it
ahead.
properly.
So, what's the Stanley cameo, kiddo?
Yes.
It's Stan Lee's riding a bus and they're in the mirror dimension and everything is weird and creepy. They fall on top of the bus and Stan Lee is reading a comic book looking up things that looks something kind of like Doctor Strange things and so he was reading it, and when they slammed on the mirror right in front of him, he was like, "It's hilarious."
Yeah, that's ridiculous or
And
something.
that was it.
That's hilarious.
And that was it.
My rating is 10 out of 10 ha-has.
Nice. Who's next?
Nice.
I am a magical unicorn, and I rate it 0.00000.
No. You didn't like it, huh?
I hated it. Okay, see, I actually wrote this. You couldn't do better.
Wow.
Okay.
You didn't like it. All right. Who's next?
All right. Me?
Yeah.
Go to her.
See, Dad, you can make us do that when you want. Like, give us that power.
You guys do that. You guys do that all the time.
She
But
just
you're like overruling us.
she just did it to me.
Ah,
Well, because Dad told her to.
I really liked it.
I'm confused.
I give it a 10 out of 10 on this one because it was very fun. I want to know what the book he was reading. I know it, but I can't remember.
Are you looking it up right now?
So I'm looking it up.
Can I answer what my rating is? now?
Yes. That's
Well,
why I
it's
swear.
up to little woman over here.
Just do
Fine.
it.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
5, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was whatever. Maybe, yeah.
I really liked it. I thought it was the way it should have been. But he was reading a book about 1960s mysticism. I want to know what the book was. I'll find it here eventually. What do you need, Lewis?
Waiting for you to go.
Well, maybe Georgia
I'm
could.
done.
We rated it. So, Georgia, what's next, baby?
Half-hour screen time.
Since
Okay.
me and Georgia are pretty much the only people who do that because Dad naps and Mom crushes around them.
When was the last time I took a nap? Ugh.
16
You take naps a lot.
seconds
Not
ago.
as much as you used to, but you take naps.
All right, what are you doing then?
Not for a while.
I said half-hour screen time.
Okay,
I know, but what are you
What is
doing
it?
for half-hour screen time?
Listen.
video games, go.
Zelda, Overwatch, and Pokemon.
This is the last week of spring break, too, so it's no longer half-hour screen time. It's blocks of hours of screen
Well,
time.
that
You're right
was
about
no.
going
This is
outside.
this last week. They don't have 2 weeks off.
No, this is the end of spring break, I
Yeah,
just
you
said.
said this is the last week of spring break.
Same thing. Okay, and I know for a fact that Theo is going to take naps as his half-hour screen time.
Wait, no,
That's actually full day screen
No, his
time.
half-hour screen time is puking and pooping and then nap.
I'm actually gonna sometime this weekend. I'm planning on starting. I have some codes on, or some courses on how to code, and I want to start looking at those so I can be amazing and smart and make all the thousands of dollars.
Yeah, returning to work, I took the week off of spring break as well to be with kids. So going back to work, probably going to go into some yard work this week. More than half hour every day. So the book was The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wait, it's an actual book.
yeah. And it was a recounting Huxley's experience taking psychedelic drugs. Like he was taking LSD and things like to make him see these kind of things. That's why it was funny. That's why I liked it. It was because the book was about seeing the things that they were doing on that movie.
Huh.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, so what's next? A mid and end credits. Because this one does have a mid credit and
And an end credit.
Me first.
Okay.
10 and 10.
What are they though?
Yeah, describe them now.
I have no idea.
I remember one. And
What's the first one? Do you remember the first one?
Wait, no, George is pointing at me.
Ah,
Thank you. The mid-credit scene is actually a scene out of Thor Ragnarok. It is when Doctor Strange has Thor in the New York Sanctum, and he's trying to, again, kind of bargain with him, saying, Loki's here, we kind of don't want him here, what could I do to help you not make him here? And they're like, well, we need to find Odin. He's like, great, let me help you out with that.
I don't drink tea. Well, what do you drink?
Not tea.
And then a gigantic thingy of beer, and then he drinks it all, and then it rises back to the top.
That's
and
right.
He's like,
Thor, I'm going to describe this. Literally, while it's rising, he holds it diagonally and starts squinting.
Yeah. And then the end credit scene is Mordo finds Benjamin Bratt's character, who, the guy who has basically gone to the Ancient One, decided not to join them, and is now using the magic to heal himself constantly.
Like Wake of War.
And Mordo goes, and I had forgotten this. I thought Mordo was going to, like, recruit him, but no. Mordo he basically takes the power out of him that he's been using. The guy collapses because now his spine is back into disorder and he can't stand. And he's like, why? What are you doing this? He's like, because there are too many sorcerers.
But he's basically not being a sorcerer. He's just killing himself.
Mordo he's
evil.
He's kind of
trying to take away that power from anybody who has it.
He feels it's abused and he can't abide. I remember the Ancient One says, she's like, he needs your flexibility,
he's
to
rigid
Doctor
and
Strange.
unmoving.
And he's so rigid and unmoving, now he's gone the other way and he's become an evil person.
Yeah, so that's one thing where Doctor Strange 2, if they can line up all the actors, it would be Benedict Cumberbatch, his Doctor Strange versus Chiwetel Ejiofor's Mordo, and that could be a great psychological psychedelic thriller.
So those are the descriptions of the mid-credit and end-credit scene. You got a Ragnarok scene and then you got the Mordo scene at the end.
Yeah.
What about the ratings?
So I rated him, the mid-credit scene was Ragnarok. It was 10 out of 10
I
for me.
wanted Willis to go.
We need to speak up then.
Yeah, well, you need to go faster than that. Because we are running out of time.
Skip me, I ain't doing it.
You're not rating him?
Well, I rated them both.
Okay.
So we'll say
Well,
5.
that's your rating.
No,
4?
It's a 5.
2.5.
Okay. 2.5 meh.
Not really good.
Well, I gave him 10s. Both.
Cool.
Okay.
10 on Ragnarok, 10 on Mordo.
Okay, so I give mine 1 trillion
Nope.
million thousand out of 10. The
So,
thing is Sanctum.
Sanctums.
I thought it might be something.
There's only 3. So it's a 3 out of 3, but it's 10 out of 10 Sanctums for the Furious Girl.
If there were 10 sanctums, then yeah.
Because we actually have to have an out of 10 for our...
There should be like a sanctum in here.
So
Okay,
Sanctums is
so
the rating? Or
Out of 3 Sanctum then. 3 trillion out of...
You're giving it the most Sanctums possible. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Mine is like 8.5. 8.
8 out of 3.
No.
It's out of 10.
We need
but
10, please, but we
we're going to do
get
Sanctums.
So between 8 and 8.5, that would be
8.25.
8.25.
Yes.
So 8.25 sanctums.
8 and a quarter.
Yeah, I don't know what a quarter of a sanctum would look like. Would it just be like the top or the bottom?
It'll probably be the size of our house. That's fine.
I don't know. With the big glass thing for the roof. Like
Who's
that.
next? Okay, see, now I haven't thought about it. I give this... I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Solid 9 out of 10 Sanctums.
I would give it an 8.5.
Box office for this movie. How did it do?
What do you think it did opening weekend? Let's do it that way.
Ooh.
Because you're great at guessing actors' ages.
Well, I get close to him. I usually go within 3 years. Yeah, because usually you'll look at people on IMDb and say, how old is so-and-so? And I get it within about 3 years each time. I'm going to say it brought in, I'm going to say 92 million opening weekend.
85 million opening weekend. Very
Dude,
close.
that was within 7. I feel good. I feel pretty good
I
about
said
that.
very close. I said it out loud.
Nice.
Very close came out of my face.
Nice.
Low budget, $165 million.
Wow, they did so much. They must have done a ton with computer.
But there was not a lot of actors.
True.
You
They
know
didn't
what I mean?
have the big ensemble.
The cast wasn't huge.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they could save some money on it. It was a smaller cast, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel McAdams' character has one scene out of a hospital scrubs.
Which, that is somebody I was like, she had a great character. I liked her character.
I think that also brought it down a little bit for me, because she was a strong woman and a strong character, but where could they fit it in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I get why, but it's like, yeah. So domestic, it did $232.6 million, and foreign, it did $445 million for $677.7 million. $677 million. It made a lot of money.
I figured with Benedict Cumberbatch being the lead role, that it was going to go pretty good.
Yeah, it did about double the amount foreign than it did domestic, which is pretty good for these. It's not broken down. I have any breakdowns for, what it did in China and things like that, but it made way more of its budget. $165 million production budget. That's what it says.
Wow.
So was there $100 million in advertising on top of that? It still made that back plus.
Nice.
So all the foreign money is just bonus money. Like I said, November 4th, 2016. So this is like a Thor Ragnarok. So we're seeing a pattern. May, this year it's April, it was moved up. And then now we're getting 3 movies, and then there's a July, and then there's an August or
Yeah.
Not in July, but then there's a November one.
Yep.
There is no Marvel November one this year.
Well, they've got plenty this year, so maybe that's okay.
But yeah, the Infinity War is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And Ant-Man and the Wasp. But I don't think there's another one this year. And then next year is Captain Marvel. Then Avengers again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is crazy. See, what's next on the... That are we...
Doctor Strange, this one is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh,
right?
Spider-Man.
We have a list.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
Yeah, I was just trying to tell Jamie, our friend, about that today. I'm like, well, I think we have like maybe 2 or 3 more. So yeah, so we'll do those next. Black Panther, just a reminder for anyone who might be confused by the order, the numbering out, because we did review Black Panther right when it came out, and so that is episode 19 of this rundown. So if you're listening to these in order, then 19 should be the one that, you'll want to save that for right before you go watch Infinity War, because that's the order. We are on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Please subscribe to us. Please review us, because that also really helps people find the podcast. And if you want to find us, we're at P.O. Box 1343, Englewood with an E, Englewood, Colorado 80150. But yeah, send us your ideas. Tell us what you're going to dress up for us. Do cosplay at Comic-Con coming near you. We're going to be at Denver Comic-Con doing our own cosplay. Oh, I wanted to add this too, and I got off track earlier when we were talking about the time stone and the fact that Dormammu lives out of the scope of time. I think after we watched this, we went ahead and went on and put on the Deep Space Nine episode that is the...
With the time orb from the Cardassians, and they went back and was the Trouble with Tribbles. It was...
Oh, it was
Trials
great.
and Tribulations for the Deep Space Nine, where you have the old Kirk and they re-edit them into the...
It's really well done. And it's funny because so Data Bites, your favorite Star Trek show is Deep Space Nine.
I haven't even seen the new Star Treks.
I haven't either.
They retconned a bunch of stuff, rebooted a bunch of stuff. Not my flavor.
So yeah, we haven't seen those, but it was just funny that we were in the mode of space-time continuum and stuff like that. And we're like, well, let's watch. I meant to bring it up when we were talking about, the time stone's off limits, because obviously if you use it, you can create all these unintended loops and feedbacks and stuff like that. And that's what I was like, and as a matter of fact, we saw the same thing. That thing is a constant theme in Star Trek, where they have the what is it, the time police, or the...
Oh, yeah. Oh.
What do they call them? The temporal patrol, or the
temporal agency, or something like that.
And how I love that too. And when Cisco in there, he's talking to them already, and they do a flashback. He's like, the last thing I want is a visit from the temporal whatever they are. Yeah. And he's the one. That's who he's talking to for the whole thing. So, all right, well, that's all. We hope you've enjoyed this time with us. And we will be back with you for the next podcast. Thanks for listening to UnpauseIt, and thanks for putting up with the hilarity of kids and adults trying to get this done. Yes.
Crazy.
We'll make sure you guys, we've been posting these every week, but again, the goal is to give you a good solid run up right up to Infinity War, so we'll make sure all of them are posted before that opens.
Yeah, this will wrap up season 1 of our podcast.
And then we'll move on to other geeky things.
Yeah.